the Daily Ramble podcast. Good morning, West Ham fans. Welcome to Claret and Booze. I promise I won't do that again. I hope you're all well. You feeling good today? Was you up exercising at 5 a.m. like me? No, I weren't either. I snoozed today. I snoozed. So it's going to be an interesting one. I've only literally been awake for about 45 minutes, so that's cutting it fine for me. I'm telling you, my face still feels slightly paralysed. So, gonna see how we go. But yes, we've got a transfer rumour roundup today. So I know I've been saying we don't do transfer rumour roundups, but I'm going to today because I was talking to a few people yesterday, and I've been trying to sort the wheat from the chaff to try and understand exactly which players we are linked with. I'm still not in a situation where I can release one of the players, which I'm dying to do, but hopefully maybe later today. So I'll tell you tomorrow on that one. All right. But we've got enough to be talking about. As always, I'm on the go shift. It's 6:30. Give me a thumbs up. No one's on YouTube at the moment. At least tell the ones that are on YouTube that I'm on. So if you give it a thumbs up, that tells YouTube to share it around and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it does really help. And also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Before we get into the story, into the news, actually, Gary and John did part 2 of their legal series that they've been doing on the Lucas Paqueta saga. That went live yesterday. Another bit of a drama from Gary. You know, Gary and YouTube just don't mix. Brilliant show, but Gary did something that I don't know. If Gary touches it, it don't work. That's what happens. So had a bit of had some tantrums from Gary yesterday on the phone because for whatever reason people were watching it and it was jittery or something like that. It's fine now. It's good now. Go back and give it a watch. You know, it's not like it's not a breaking news story, so it's always going to be relevant. It's very good. John is very, very watchable as well. You know, I could listen to him for hours and hours. Great guy. Just going to say good morning to everyone in the chat as well. So we got Bodger. Good morning. We've got Stuart Russell. We've got Drano. Avram Grant Slipper. That's a great one. That's got to be a regular. I don't know who that is. It's just someone who's changed their name. Sparksy. David Riley. Nicola. Good morning. Good morning, Brooksy. Our man Tony. I did a show with Tony yesterday. Tony and Ryan on our on the members platform. Really, really good. Really good show. We've got Luigi. Rob Cossey. Stephen Chiffers. Good morning from Thummerthat. Good morning. In the West Country. We've got Neil Walcott. We've got loads of new names today. Lee. Stephen Skivier. Steve Bell. Right, I'm getting bored now. Hang on. Wasim Butt. Right, that's it. I'll do one more. Oh, and look, and there's Alec as well. Oh, no, that's a good name. Hang on. Dick Turpin. Good morning. Right, I'm stopping now. All right, I'm can't spend half an hour saying good morning to everyone. And we'll go through that bit in a minute. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got a new widget because, you know, obviously we did the pew-pews for the super chats. I've just done a new one, a quirky one. This is what I'm gonna do now for super chats moving forwards. Not just this one, but different widgets. But here we go. So super chat comes in.
Thank you, Brav.
Oh, I like that. It tickled me. No one else is going to know what I'm talking about. It's from a program called Inside on YouTube by the Sidemen. You must have heard me talking about it by now. But it is really good, Brav. Trust me. Really good. Okay, transfer rumour roundup is where we're going to start. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll start with the outgoings. Let's waffle a few feathers, right? I did say when Moyes went out and Lopetegui came in that certain players were going to be surplus to requirements. I did say that, didn't I? And you know the players that I'm talking about. I was talking about Thomas Soucek, primarily, which is a bit of a no-brainer. And the other one was James Ward-Prowse. From what I've been told, listen to this. From what I've been told, these two players have been told that not that they're not part of the plans, but that they're not part of the first team plans. They don't fit. So if they want to move, they can move. On the other side of it, it sounds as though Lopetegui, is quite interested in Flynn Downs. So it could be Flynn Downs in and James Ward-Prowse and Soucek out. Because I know what you're thinking, well, what's going to happen in midfield then? You know, you can't rely on Potts and Murphy and players like that. And Flynn Downs is too much like Alvarez, and Paqueta's got this trial as well. This is true. I do think we've almost got to write Paqueta off at the moment. I'm not saying he's guilty, but people were saying he was down in tools towards the end of last season. No, he wasn't. His career's falling down all around him. His fucking head ain't in the right place. I don't think that's going to be fixed next season. I really don't. You know, even if it's 6 months into his trial, he'd have to have some mental resilience to not be affected by this. So I do think that you've got to kind of look beyond Paqueta at the moment, and I think that we are. So we've got Downs. I think Downs will be staying now. That's going to be my thought. Downs will be the backup to Alvarez. The Alex Garcia transfer, the battle with Leverkusen for this player is hotting up. We've apparently gone back in again. We've gone back in again for the player. And we've offered him a very, very lucrative deal. We've blown Leverkusen out of the water. This is a player that's obviously, I think he started at Man City, didn't he? The central midfielder that would partner Alvarez, and he would be able to deliver this master plan. He's very, very important to Lopetegui. I do know that from all the players that we're linked with at the moment, this player is Lopez. He wants him. It's about 15 million. And it's so important. And you can see what he's trying to do. He's de-Moising us. Lopetegui, he's de-Moising West Ham. I love it. I do love it. I know it's going to be a shame. There's going to be certain players that you might have grown fond of and stuff like that might be sort of shifting out. But the most important part is the engine room. That's the midfield. It's got to be fixed. Alvarez is perfect. If we can get that Alex Garcia in, we're going to be amazing. And I would be over the moon if we kept Flynn Downs as well. Now, look, I know there's a lot of people that are James Ward-Prowse fans. Okay, I know there are. But I think he's on too much money to be a bench player. He's also too experienced to... And he's in his peak. He's as good as James Ward-Prowse is ever going to be. He can't be a backup player. He can't be sitting on the bench. So if there is somebody else that wants him, I'm sure there will be. Southampton are up now. There's going to be other teams that do want James Ward-Prowse. I think we're going to be seeing James Ward-Prowse move on. Likewise with Thomas Soucek. We know that the Czech boys can't take sitting on the bench. It crushes their souls. And plus, Soucek can't pass a fucking football, so he can't be in the passing team. Soucek, I think, will be out, and I don't think we'll struggle to get a buyer for Soucek because I kind of stand by what I've always said about him. I think he is not the best footballer in the world, but he's very functional. He's a very functional player, and he can be an absolute beast in the right team, for the right team. So he's still very, for a David Moyes type manager, he's the number one player on your shopping list. So you could still go out and get 15 to 20 million for Soucek, I think. So there is money that we can bring in. Now, so that's that done. That's the midfield. Midfield sorted. We're sorted, all right? Well, I know that Fofana's out there as well, and that one's gone a little bit quiet. I think it's gone quiet on purpose because he's available for such a low transfer fee because he's only got a year left. There's going to be a bit of a bidding war for him, not on transfer fee. In wages, there's going to be loads of clubs in for him. So that's going to be exciting because he's one I'd love. Oh, in fact, I've been thinking about him more and more. I know that this Alex Garcia, who's a great, great player, and he's a very Man City-esque type player. He's wonderful on the ball, makes the ball work. That's what he does. I would love it. I would love to get him, and I would not moan. I just kind of would be really excited, however, if we got Fofana, because Fofana is just that animal in midfield that you need in the Premier League. He breaks up play. He's big physical presence, Plus he can play at centre back. He can play at centre back. He can play in the 8. He can play in the 10. He can play anywhere, and he will give you that ball carrying. He drives with the ball, and he's got goal scoring as well. So different players. They play in the same position, but very different. I suppose it does come down to what does Lopetegui want in that position, But either or would be a fucking huge upgrade. Massive upgrade. So yeah, for me, I think it's going to be Alex Garcia. There must be something in this because otherwise we would not be going up against we wouldn't be going up against Alonso at Leverkusen who have just won the Bundesliga if we didn't think we had a bloody good chance of getting this done. Lopetegui must know this player or something. There's got to be something there. I think we can get him. And it would be a proper bang-on deal. It would be brilliant. The next one is Vital, the Brazilian centre-back that we've all been talking about. So we know we've sorted one Brazilian. Well, we ain't happy with one. We're going to get two, possibly three. We're going to get two. I've been told the Wesley deal is probably null and void now. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But I'll get onto that shortly. But the Vital deal with rumoured to have tabled a bid already of around about 6 million. But the other team, they're not going to accept anything less than 8, which is fine. Completely the right profile defender. He really is. I think he's 24 years old. Big player, tall, great in the air, quick, mobile, great range of passing. Can play as a wide player as well, and that's very important when you play with, because we're going to talk about fullback shortly, when you play the way that Lopetegui is intending to play, which is with your fullbacks bombing on, your centre-back, certainly if you're playing a back three, if we end up playing a back three, your right and left-sided centre-backs have to be good at covering wingers, and this player can do that. He's absolutely, he's a very, very talented player. And if we can get him for 8 million, this is a player that a couple of years ago was linked with going. He was that close to going to Barcelona. He's a very highly regarded player. Would be amazing business. 8 million. I mean, that's more like it, really, isn't it? 8 million ain't even a risk. That's chump change. That's just 8 million chump change. But yeah, so Vital apparently was stepping that up now because I think the club have said to Tim, mate, you've been on your Brazilian holiday now for about 3 weeks. Get your ass back. So get that player done. Get home. So he's going to get that done. I think Vital we're going to step up for. I can see that one happening. Right, the other one is Jake O'Brien. I didn't think there was anything in this, but it appears there is something in it. I don't know whether it's driven more off the back of the fact that we want Ben Rama out and Ben Rama wants out, which is a bit of a shame because Ben Rama turned into a different player when he went to Lyon. Anyone who saw what Ben Rama did at Lyon when he was there, completely different player. End product, he looks amazing. But I think it's time to move on. I think his time at West Ham is done. It's finished. So this Jake O'Brien is a good centre-back. Really good, solid centre-back, a leader, very good. The only issue is I don't think he does count towards your homegrown quota because he's Irish and his career was in Cork. Has he played in the Premier League? I don't know. I actually don't know too much about this player, but what I do know from people who have watched him is that he is a proper beast centre-back, exactly what we need. He would be, I suppose, a Zuma replacement, or an upgrade. It'd be an upgrade because he's got leadership qualities as well, which is what we need. So you're looking at a part exchange deal there. So you're looking at Jake O'Brien going one way and, Ben Rama going one way and Jake O'Brien coming the other. Thank you very much. Just got me coffee on wheels. So yes, so there is something in that. The other thing is, according to news outlets today, we know that we've been in for Jota Silva, which is fantastic news. Fantastic, because that means that the song comes back on every single show. You know the one. When you score, yeah, I won't do it. But that one, so you've got Jota Silva, who is people call him the pound shop Jack Grealish. But if you look at the stats, Jack Grealish is a pound shop Jota Silva. He scores and assists. Jack Grealish don't. This geezer's brilliant. Can play anywhere across the front line. I'm a little bit confused by all these wingers that we're buying. But I do think that the Brazilian that we bought, I can't think of his name now. I can't. I've gone blank. The one that's in London at the moment. What's his fucking... I can't think. What's his name? Help me in the chat. I've gone blank. This player is a winger. And he can play anywhere kind of across the front. He can play right or left. And the other player, the really quick one that I've been talking about for about 3 weeks, he looks like I think he's going to. The people that know about Brazilian football and have been watching him, although he's been utilised out in wide areas, he's got the number 8, number 10 written all over him because of the style of play. So he could be the Lucas Paqueta replacement. What can't Guilherme? That's it. How could I not think of his name? So yeah, Jota Silva. The pound shop Jack Grealish that people like to call him. He is apparently got his heart set on a move to West Ham. It's not a huge deal. You're looking at about 15, 16 million. from what I've seen of him, I've actually watched him a couple of times now because when we was linked with him, I watched a couple of the extended highlights on games. He's an half a good player. He's a really, really exciting player. That must mean that Cornet is gone because we can't have Cornet there again. So there's going to be a lot of players going out. So yeah, Jota Silva, I think that will happen. We're also linked with the other Jota as well. But I think that's just paper talk. You know the one where the song originated. The guy who's playing in Saudi at the moment. But it's not a rumour. It's not a nonsense rumour that he's going to move. He's not happy in Saudi. If he's going to come to the Premier League, he's only going to one place, isn't he? He's going to go and play for Postecoglou again. That's all that's going to happen there. But I'll be happy with Jota Silva. That'd be a quality signing. Right, the other one is, this is exciting. So fullbacks. I said we'd been light on being linked with fullbacks. And we are linked once again with Bradley Locko from Brest. I sort of waxed lyrical about this player in January. We were linked with him. We wanted him. We almost signed him. David Moyes didn't sign off on a deal. We almost had him. We would have got him a lot cheaper than what we're going to get him, than what we would get him for now. But we are still heavily in for this player. He's everything that you want from a modern left back / wing back. He's a brilliant player. He's going to be a French international. So if we can still sign him now, it's a no-brainer. We have to get that done. He is rapid as well, because I keep saying pace. And this kid has pace. He's fantastic. So Bradley Locko, I think there's a good chance that could happen. And the other player as well is Ferdi. I'm going to have a go at murdering his surname, and that is Ferdi Kadioglu from Fenerbahce. And he is a right back. He's right-footed, but he can play left back or right back. This is an incredibly highly rated, highly valued wing back. It's the type of player that you'd expect to be linked with Chelsea. He is linked with Arsenal, with teams like that, because he is of that level already. He's fantastic. Possibly their best player. They don't want to let him go, but he wants to move on. So we are in with him as well. That would be a massive coup if we could get him. It would be huge, because there is a fight for him. There's going to be a fight for him in when that window does open. So we are interested. So that would be an amazing couple of signings if we could get Bradley Locko and go out and get Ferdi as well. Just this is just changing our team, guys, completely. We're going to have a completely new look team, apart from the players that we kind of love. What does that mean for Emerson? I think you've got to kind of put two and two together with this one. There was rumours halfway through the season just gone, that Emerson was looking. He wanted to leave. He wasn't sort of settling in England. He wanted to go back to Italy. Which is a bit of a shame. Now, I haven't got any information to say that is going to happen, but I do find I'm quite curious as to why there seems to be such a heavy focus on left backs / wing backs, because he's a good player, right? He's a problem that doesn't need fixing, in my opinion. When you look at Soufal on the other side, it should be that side that we're concentrating on most. But yeah, I am a little bit worried that Emerson could be about to move on. That would be a shame. That's a player you don't want to lose, you know. I don't know that. Like I said to you, I don't know that. It's just because of the rumours that came about, and because of what Paqueta's going through, and the fact that Paqueta will either be banned, locked up, or sold to Man City. Yeah, and we know Emerson's he's buddy, isn't he? He is. But whose birthday is it? Right, where are we? Hang on. We've got a couple of birthdays in here, have we? Happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? I can't see. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is anyway. Anyway, look, that was kind of it for the transfer rumour roundup. So I think it's now time for the masturbator. Here we go. You ready?
Hello everyone, it's me again. Hope you're not getting bored of my stupid questions yet. So I'm sniffing, mate. Hay fever doing me in, like, and when you got a nose like this, it's proper bad, mate. Proper. What did someone say to me once? Your nose so big you could smell a Sunday roast on a Wednesday. I still remember, it still makes me laugh. Right, question for today is popular. All for them fizzy drinkers. Right, the main question. You've got to have heard this one before. Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Oh, the majority of people go Coca-Cola. I'm one of them weird ones, and I prefer a Pepsi over it. Oh, big question. What are you saying?
I think if you choose Pepsi over Coca-Cola, Sam, you're a weirdo. Personally, I will drink Pepsi, but it's like, do you know what? That's too gassy. Does anyone feel the same about that with Pepsi? It's not properly gassy, you know. Makes gas come out of both ends of me. That does. Don't take much to make me fart, to be fair. But yeah, I'm definitely a Coca-Cola kind of guy. I am. Diet Coke as well, because you know my body is a temple. So yeah, for me, Pepsi. Darren, no way, mate. No, Darren Turner, I'm with you. Amanda, get out my pub. No, not having that. Coke all day. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Look. That's it. Yeah. See, people know. They know. It's Coca-Cola. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? Anyway, what are your thoughts on our potential transfer business? So, it's looking like obviously, look. Zuma's gonna, even if we don't sell him, he's going to be phased out. He'll just be sat on the bench. We're going to do everything we can to move Kurt Zouma on. And I think that would be the case. So even if David Moyes was still manager, I'm sure we would be, because the geezer's got no knees. I love him. He's been a good player for us, but he was fucked when we bought him. That's why we gave him 15 bloody medicals, you know, on his knees, because we was looking for his knees on the scans. You know, they couldn't find them. But eventually they did, and they signed him off. I think he's been a very good player when you consider the fact that he probably plays on painkillers. He doesn't really train. It's a very Ledley King types. How did we pay 30 million for him? This is the thing. It's not the fact that we've got him as a player. He's a good player. But how do you pay 30 million for a player with knackered legs? And they were knackered. They haven't become knackered since he's been at West Ham. We've wrapped him in kid gloves since he's been with us. We've been looking after him to sort of sustain him. I just don't. It was such silly business, even though I wouldn't change it, because he has been a good player for us at times. When he plays well, Zouma, he's been fantastic. He has been, but it is time for him to go. It's time for him to go. The Aguirre thing is very, very interesting as well. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm pretty certain that what's his name will probably play a game with him, Lopetegui, because he is the type of defender that I think that he would like to use, but it does depend on the mentality of the player. You know, it's like sometimes, I always said this, one of the reasons why I didn't want David Moyes to stay here for so long last season, or for the entire season, was because players that were unhappy were going to become unhappy with more than just David Moyes over the course of a season. You become frustrated with the company that you're working for, not just your line manager. You're like, fuck this, I want a new job. I think that's where a few of the players are at. Obviously, we heard that Ben Johnson and Mabama, they're getting closer to sort of organising, agreeing deals with those players as well, which is brilliant news, absolutely brilliant news. That might be one of the reasons why we're not looking for a right back as well, out of respect for Johnson, or out of certainty for the fact that they're gonna be convincing him to stay. Because if we're gonna be giving him a first team wage, he's another one. You know, I know it's not massive, but it all comes off the wage bill. If we're going to be keeping him, that means we're going to be paying him 50, 60 bags a week, which I'm in favour of, by the way. I think he's earned it. He's a very good player. And I think providing he was utilised and felt more part of the team, which Lopetegui will absolutely do, then I don't think he'll be unhappy at West Ham. I really, really don't. I think he will be. It makes sense. He should stay. He's been with us since he was 8 years old, you know. I think it's so important to retain a core of these players. How proud was you when George Murphy scored that goal? You know, it's like we was having a chat on the Boozecast yesterday, on the members Boozecast, and you know we've got kids that play football, and it did feel a little bit like that. It's like when you see your own kids score, you feel proud, you feel pride. It's like, that's one of our lads, it's one of our boys. It's so important to have players that are associated to your club, you know. And that's why I'm so pleased. The more reading I do on Lopetegui, the more I realise, and I know that if these players that we've got in this youth setup, we've already seen George Murphy, but Casey, Scholes, you know, there's just an endless amount of names. If they're good enough, they will get minutes under Lopetegui. Yes, they will, 100%. And that is all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. And I am so looking forward to next season now. I really am. My expectations are not ridiculous, you know. don't get me wrong, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if we kicked on straight away, had a good start, and we went and got top 6 again. That wouldn't surprise me, but equally, it's more likely we're going to have a mid-table finish and we're going to struggle to get going because we're playing a new style. We're going to have a load of new players in the team. Even if he tries to sort of phase people in slowly, it doesn't matter. The whole setup will have changed. So it does take time to sort of embed a philosophy and stuff like that. Then again, it didn't with Postecoglou, did it? And Postecoglou completely changed the way that Tottenham played. You know, Emery the same. So there might not be as big a bedding in period as what you think. There might not be. The only thing is with Spurs is they petered out towards the end. That's the trouble. I think Spurs had that problem where they had a great starting 11. It all worked. It was wonderful. The minute they started getting injuries and suspensions and stuff like that, they was knackered. I don't know what happened to Villa towards the end. I've got no clue. But they turned to shit. I mean, they finished that season bad. So could we start? Could we start quickly? Yeah, I think we could. I think we could start quickly, and it would be amazing, wouldn't it? Come on, imagine if we actually got fifth. If we got fifth next season, that's actually what I want. I want fifth, and then sixth the year after, and then fifth the year after that, just so that we can stop talking about someone. But yes, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sorry if I don't know what that's come out like. Like I said to you, I was only awake for about 40 minutes before I went live. So my face, I normally get a bit of facial paralysis until I've had about 5 coffees. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks to whoever's birthday it is, happy birthday as well. And I'm going to leave you with Jay. All right? Come in your irons. Have a good day.
Go right. Got to be quiet. I'm calling this late. So, day 6 of our Nick's journey into morningness. So today's inspirational quote is actually motivated and inspired by our lovely Nick, who very honestly let us know that he fell off the other day. And then he said his story about, I forgot, didn't I? Hammers, girls' thumbs. He was very honest, as he always is, which is what drew me into Claret Boots in the first place, is she knows, in telling us what actually happened. He went out on the fucking lash with a client, dirty stuff out. And in all seriousness, he felt like shit next day. I spoke to him the next morning. I was on him with me annoying Jay in the morning. He wasn't in a good place, but he bounced back. And that's what today's all about. As a coach, one of the things I can say is a common denominator between men and women is self-judgment over the times in the past where you've fallen over, you've let yourself down, you've fallen off. You hold on to this begrudgment and judgment and shame and embarrassment and guilt. I did for a long time. The truth is, the reason we like them Rocky Balboa speeches, is it that one in one of the new creeds where he gives that talk about it's how you get back up again? Because there's that truth in that. Them times where we do find the bottle to get up and go again, you should be proud because you have done, because you're here now. If you're listening to this, you're still here. You've fallen off loads of times and you're here now, showing up again. So rather than look at with judgment or shame or guilt, why don't look at where you are now and the fact that you are choosing to go again and being yourself. Stop going out with clients, Nick.